Now, up to this point, we've been building parts. That's all we've built, individual parts. Now, we're going to look at building assemblies by taking these individual parts and putting them all together in an assembly. So we'll start by going to our class files folder, Assembly, Basics, Mate and Align Assembly. So open Solid Edge, come out to File, Open, and I can browse out to my class files, Assembly folder, Basics folder. So here's where I'm going. Wherever you put your class files, Assembly, Basics, and then we want to open Mate Align. Now, let's go ahead and put these individual parts together in an assembly. So what we do to get started, we come up to Assemble. Now you'll see lots of different buttons here, but there's really three critical ones that you use basically 90+% of the time. And the first one is Mate. Next one would be Planar Align, and the other would be Axial Align. So we're going to start by coming to the Mate command, select, and I'd like to get this back face and mate it to this back face. See those line up now. Now I'll come back to Planar Align and say I'd like this face to align with this face. Now you see it's aligned and mating that face at the back just here. We've got one more. Let's come back to Mate, and I'd like to mate this face with this face. And now that's in the position I want. Let's spin this around, come back to Mate, and I'd like to mate this face with this face. You see those line up right there. It may not look like it initially, but it does. Then I'll come over to Planar Align, and I'd like to planar align this face with this face. Back to the Mate command, and I'd like to mate this face with this face. Now that's in position. So if you mess up, you can always just come back and hit the undo button and go again. Now I'm going to come up to Axial Align. I'd like to align this center, it's getting the center of the axis of that cylinder. I'd like to align with this hole. And you see what it's done there? It's put that in upside down. So what I need to do is come over here to my options, say flip that around. It did what I said, align the two cylinders, but again I need to flip. I'm going to hit Escape. I could leave that there, but remember this still isn't fully constrained. And so if I wanted, I could identify this part and move it down because it's not constrained. So I may want to get that a little closer and just put it about there, remembering that it isn't fully constrained. So now we have our four parts assembled into one assembly.